When I buy cars, I don't really think about them as an investment. I just buy what I like. And right now, I really like V8s. I've currently got 5 of them. And the way that I pick these cars is that I typically buy higher mileage ones with possibly a little bit of history just to save some money. I've got 5 cars to drive, so each one doesn't get that much mileage, so it doesn't really matter to me. The last couple of years have been not normal. Let's just leave it at that. Used car values typically go down, not up. But in this video, I'm gonna see how I did with my investments and add up the totals of what everything is worth today. The only thing I'm not gonna include in this video is maintenance costs. I'm not gonna factor that into the prices, although I am showing you the Foxbody up front for a reason. There's a lot of money tied up into this. I will assess that fairly so that you can see what it's sort of worth in its current state. And before anyone accuses me of trying to flex on anyone with how much money I have tied up in cars, trust me, this is stupid. Well, maybe we'll find out at the end of the video, but I promise I'm not trying to flex on anyone. Go to any other YouTube channel, they got way crazier cars than I do. I bought this Raptor in 2019 for 18,000 Canadian dollars or 13,000 American football fields. I bought this Foxbody in 2020 for 5,000 Canadian dollars or 3,500 US dollars. I bought this E55 AMG Wagon in 2022 for 25,000 Canadian dollars or 18,500 US dollars. I bought this Corvette in 2022 for $49,500 or 36,500 Freedom dollars. I bought this Mercedes SL500 in 2023 for 16,500 Canadian dollars or 12,000 US dollars. So in total, that's 114,000 Canadian dollars or 84,000 US dollars. Holy crap, maybe I shouldn't have done this video. At the end of this video, I'll see what one new car in 2024 that I could have bought or what used car. This might be entering supercar territory. What have I done? Good boy, buddy. Good boy. So I'll be using Bring a Trailer for this. I know the prices might be slightly inflated, but this is realistic. These are actually sold prices. They don't just have listed prices. Otherwise, I would have to go to a bunch of different websites and then start to go from top to bottom in terms of price and then start to average it out. It gets a little bit complicated, so this is the best I can do. I'll start with the Raptor since I've owned it the longest. Oh, and by the way, if you like content like this, definitely subscribe. I'm an up-and-coming YouTuber. Honestly, it just helps me with the algorithm if you like and comment, all that kind of stuff. I love doing this stuff on my personal channel. It's a lot of fun. All right, so let's get into this. I sorted Raptor prices for 2011 to 2014. Yes, mine is a 2010, but at the time, the 6.2 liter engine that I have was an option. The base engine was a 5.4 and values on those are significantly lower. So it'll make my results more accurate. So remember, I paid 13,000 US dollars for this truck. On the bottom end of the results in the last year, it looks like the cheapest sold were around $28,000 with fairly high mileage, but still less than mine. The highest end was $81,500, which is insane, but the ballpark sold seems to be in the 30,000 to 50,000 US dollar range. So I would call the average price around 40,000 US dollars to be fair. With mine being higher mileage, let's just say it's worth around 30,000 US dollars. That's about 40,000 Canadian dollars. So it's looking like this is a pretty good investment, even if I factor in maintenance. This is not financial advice. I don't recommend any of this. Up next, the Foxbody over there. I paid about 3,500 US dollars for this, and let's just acknowledge the fact that it has about 40,000 US dollars into it. I'll make this as fair as possible. Right off the bat, I'm going to eliminate convertibles because they're worth less, and I'm going to remove anything over $100,000 because that's just insane. For the sake of values, it looks like the cheapest Foxbody sold for about 7,000 US dollars, and 10,000 seems to be the bottom floor price. Anything above $40,000 seems to be an SVT Cobra or a Saline or an SSP or something extra special, crazy low mileage, that kind of stuff. So let's call the realistic average around $25,000 for a nice, normal, clean Foxbody. So if I put no money into it, it would probably be worth $8,000 with rust holes and flame paint job and no engine mods, which is how I bought it. Since I put like $40,000 into it and it's realistically worth around 25,000 to 30,000 US dollars or 30,000 to 40,000 Canadian dollars, it was not a good investment. Luckily, a lot of the parts were provided by sponsors, but not even close to all of them. I paid for all the labor on this thing and additional parts, so there's a lot of money tied up into this. Wouldn't really recommend it. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on this actually. This Mercedes E55 AMG Wagon cost me $18,500. And of course I'm hard parking this thing dumped on the ground because I've fixed the air suspension. Watch my other video if you want to understand that reference. I scored this so cheap because I imported this from Japan. Yes, it is left-hand drive. You can pick when you buy these in Japan. Long story, I'll get into it in a separate video. I'm looking at E55 wagons, not sedans, because everybody knows wagons are superior and they are actually worth more. Filtering for 2003 to 2006 models, since the 2007 was an E63, even though it was same body style. Bottom of the barrel price looks like $25,000 and the upper range at $60,000. The average seems to be just above $30,000. These seem to be trending upwards, and once the Japanese ones are legal in the US after 25 years, the prices will go up. That just happens with basically every car. You know, in Canada, we used to be able to buy an R32 GTR for under 10 grand Canadian, which is like 6,000 US dollars. That was a real thing at one point. So as of right now, this thing's looking like my best investment, worth about 40,000 Canadian dollars, and it's only on the way up. Thanks, America. This Z06 cost me 36,500 US dollars. Yes, it probably has very close to that into the engine alone now, but let's not dwell on that right now. I only searched for 2006 to 2010 since this is a 2006 and 2013 will be worth considerably more. The cheapest sold for 35,500 US dollars and the most being around $60,000. So it looks like 40,000 to 50,000 US dollars or 55,000 to 65,000 Canadian dollars is what they're worth, which makes mine well bought. That's if I left mine stock, which I didn't. But what's the fun in that? Just have an investment car that sits around in the garage and doesn't get driven, doesn't get modified? That's not fun for me. But with my high dollar modifications, I don't think I detracted from the value. I just don't think I necessarily added that much to it. So it's probably worth in the upper range of that. Let's just call that the upper $50,000 US range. And finally, my SL500, which I paid 12,000 US dollars for. Filtering for 1996 to 1998 cars, since they were the most similar and mine's in 1997, the lowest price was $67,000 and the most was $55,000. The ballpark average seems to be $20,000 with a lot of sales in the $10,000 range and $30,000 range. Values and conditions for these vary wildly. I looked for a year before I bought this one. Some of the cars that I looked at were horrendous and they were listed for double what I paid for this one. They had cigarette smell on the inside, burns from cigarette ashes, the seats were destroyed, interior trim was missing, they had rust on them, lots of problems. This one is a two-owner car. Prior to myself, the original owner serviced this at Mercedes for most of its life and it's in really good condition. So I think this one's probably in the middle range. Let's just call this 20,000 US dollars or 27,000 Canadian dollars. I think that's pretty fair. So to recap, I paid 84,000 US dollars for all 5 cars that you saw in this video, or 114,000 Canadian dollars. Using my Bring a Trailer prices and some quick math right here on my calculator, that brings my total current value of all these cars to 160,000 US dollars or 216,000 Canadian dollars. That's a profit of 76,000 US dollars or 102,000 Canadian dollars. I can't even think right now. That's, I'm literally blown away. Like that makes no sense to me, but holy crap, who wants to buy all my cars? So taking a look at tsp.truecar.com, what one new car could I buy for 84,000 US dollars? We got BMW M3s, M4s, Audi RS5, a C8 Corvette base model. All right. Hellcat Challenger wide body jailbreak. That's pretty good. Mustang Dark Horse with some money in my pocket. Not bad. Mercedes EQE SUV. No thanks. Porsche Cayman S. It's not bad, but honestly, I'd rather have all these cars. But here's the fun one. What one used car can I get for 84,000 US dollars right now? I'm obviously gonna start off by filtering for 10 and 12 cylinder engines. Oh wow, I can actually get a Bentley, an Audi R8, Aston Martin, Dodge Viper. If I add in 8-cylinder cars, a C8 Corvette, a Ferrari California, all right, Aston Martin Vantage, Jaguar F-Type, all the Hellcats I could ever want. Now, I'm not even going to look into the $160,000 US range or $216,000 Canadian range because, well, I might just get depressed. That's like Ferrari, McLaren, Lambo money. That's absolutely insane to me. I'm not even sure if these cars are actually worth that, but that's as close as I can get. But on top of that, I'm way happier with all of these cars. I get 5 different experiences, and it's much less stressful than having to own a supercar from what I imagine, because when I get to drive brand new supercars, we get them for a day or a week or whatever it is, it's really stressful. I'm relieved when I give the keys back because I'm no longer responsible for that car. On top of that, I don't even know how much insurance costs for one of those because it's not that bad on all of these. They're pretty much all insured through Hagerty because they're classic collector vehicles, so they're actually pretty affordable. Let me know if you like this video, if you want to see more like this, and subscribe for more stuff like this. Thanks for watching. Really appreciate it.